We're ready to go? Everybody ready? Press are ready? All good to go? Good morning, and welcome to the Manatee County Emergency Operations Center. I'm County Commission Chair Mike Ron, and this is going to give you a few updates on Hurricane Debby. Hurricane Debby brought massive amounts of record rain to Manatee County. And over the last 72 hours, we had more rain here in Manatee County. But let the citizens know that the emergency operations have been operating here 24/7 since this storm began. We've had over 55 water rescues, 210 individuals, and 2 horses were rescued by our rescue teams out there. And the rescue teams consist of fire, police, the sheriff, and the county, and our rescue water teams. And we appreciate the hard jobs that they did during this storm. Our call center took over 2,200 calls in the last 72 hours. Additional 800 emergency calls and 900 non-emergency calls have been handled by that call center. Our flood management realized that it handled a 100-year flood. This is a 100-year flood that we've had during this storm. And our dam at Lake Manatee did its job. It did its job protecting the lake and the levels at the lake, and it automatically released into the spillway so we can maintain safe levels at the lake. Damage reports are being done right now. Our code enforcement is out there looking for damage and doing damage assessments. If you have damage, you can go to mymanatee.org/report damage. And for more information on continued road closures and information like that, you can go to mymanatee.org/storm, or you can always call 311. What I'd like to do now is introduce our great senator from the state of Florida and former governor, my governor, Rick Scott. He's been boots on the ground here for us. He's always at when we need something, he's here. We can call him, stuff gets done, brings in the federal resources for us, and we're so proud that he's here today to be here at the Operations Center. So, Governor Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. First off, it's great to be here. Unfortunately, we're always, seems like, we have to talk about hurricanes and storms a lot in Florida. The first thing I think everybody up here wants to do is make sure everybody stays safe. Do everything you can to keep your family safe. Don't take any risk. Don't drive in standing water. Don't touch a down power line. The state's saturated right now. It's actually, even before this, the state was saturated. So we're going to see a lot more down trees. Unfortunately, there's going to be hazards out there. So the first thing I think everybody from the sheriff's office to emergency management to public safety, everybody's going to tell you, just be careful. Listen to the local news, listen to what the local officials are telling you, and follow their instruction. They're trying to keep you alive. We all know we can go we can rebuild our houses, our businesses, things like that. You just can't rebuild a life. It's horrible when you have a family member, somebody that lost a family member during a storm or after a storm. If you're going to use a generator, know how to use it. You don't put the generator inside your house. So make sure you're just careful with all this stuff. I know when I was governor, we had 4 major hurricanes. We had other tornadoes and flooding. The first thing you want to do is keep everybody alive. At the federal level, I met with the head of FEMA last week, Deanne Criswell, just to make sure there's federal resources there. I talked to Robert Sammons, who runs the Southeast for FEMA yesterday, to make sure that all the resources are going to be there. It's important, one thing that's important to do is that the county is going to force everybody to comply with FEMA rules. The reason they do that is to make sure you keep getting a discount on your flood insurance plan. So when when the county officials are telling you you have to comply with these things, if you don't, if the county doesn't force you to do that, then you could potentially lose your discount on your flood insurance, which, as we all know, flood insurance and property insurance is too high already. So I've got 9 offices in the state. If you need anything, call us. I've got an office in D.C. If you need anything, call me. We will do everything we can to make sure that all federal resources, whether it's FEMA, Department of Ag, whatever it is, SBA, whatever program there is, where there's federal resources that are available to help Floridian, we're going to make sure they're there. So it's great to be here. I want to thank everybody here in Manatee County and actually across the state. They worked their butts off to try to keep everybody safe. And I know a lot of people haven't gotten a lot of sleep. I've gone through this with quite a few storms, and the people that do this day in, day out. I mean, you have to really thank them because they're there every minute trying to keep you alive.
Thank you, Senator Scott, and again, thank you so much for being here and everything that you do for us. What I'd like to do right now is I'm going to bring up the Mayor of the City of Bradenton, Gene Brown, for a few comments.
Thank you, Chairman Ron, and obviously we're grateful that Senator Scott is here going through to kind of looking what we're going to need. And even though this storm is happening today, we know he's going to be there for the days to come and the future as we go forward. And some of the things that we find out that maybe in our cities and our county that are happening that because of this 100-year storm, we will be able to still work with the federal government and Senator Scott and help us bring back some resources to even to fix some of those things that were happening before the storm. But one of the things that I just want to speak on the municipalities, and I've talked with all the other mayors in Manatee County, we are grateful to have this team that we have up here and the people that are in the seats in that war room, if you want to say it. Because when this storm is over and the county goes back to their normal operations, we have to go back to our normal operations. And that's one of the things that we're proud of, to have the partnership with all of the county commissioners, all of the staff, Jody Fisk and her staff, what they do. And we've seen a level of professionalism that has not seen before and a level of collaboration that we haven't seen before. And that's what's going to help our citizens. And one of the things we'll learn from this in some different ways to make it better for the next time we have a situation. But I just want to echo what Senator Scott said. You know, be careful now. We can replace your things. We can't replace your life. And so many people now I've seen that are starting to go out and kind of explore. If it's flooded, it's still a problem. So really take that to heart. Some of our, in the city of Bradenton, some of the areas we have that normally flood when high tide comes in, or a street that floods, which Senator Scott made a great point. Streets are supposed to flood. If your house doesn't flood, it's working. So that's important to remember. But some of these streets are going to stay flooded longer than they normally do, and that's going to be the problem. And we might see some cresting in the next couple days. Just because the rain has subsided a little bit doesn't mean that the storm's gone or the results of it. So please, safety is number one for you and your family, because we can replace things, we can't replace you. So we just want to once again thank everybody that's involved, especially with our county commissioners and the things that are going with what we do day to day. It makes this storm better. And again, thank Senator Scott for now and the future, is how, in the past, what he's done for us in this state. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Brown, and we appreciate everything you do as mayor. And what I'd like to bring up now is the Sheriff of Manatee County, Sheriff Rick Wells.
All right, thanks everyone. Just real quick and brief, this is just a reminder that we all need to stay prepared for any tropical system, any storm. You know, sometimes as Floridians, I've been here my entire life, like so many of you, we get complacent. We got a lot of rain East County in the parish area in a short period of time, so a lot of people are seeing flooding that they have never experienced before. So, you know, we're still dealing with some road closures on Golf Course Road, Upper Manatee. Rye Road is now open. County Road 675 is still closed around the Jim Davis area. So we're still trying to get people home safely and get them to areas that they need to go to in Manatee County. But we have to be cautious, you know, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to make sure that we get to where we want to go safely. So a lot going on, a lot that needs to be done. We're trying to do everything that we can to get people home safely and to make sure that they have the services they need from us if needed. We've been involved in over 200 rescues in Manatee County. We still try to help people out who have forgotten medication in some of these areas, of going back to the flooded area and retrieving some of the items that they need. So if anyone needs us, please call us. We're out there right now. The men and women of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office are here to serve. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sheriff Wells, and thank you for everything you do. Your team, your deputies are phenomenal, and they've been great through this storm. In closing, I'd like to thank Director Jody Fisk and her team. This staff has been here since day one. They actually leaned forward into this storm before it even got here to make sure that we're prepared to take care of the citizens of Manatee County. Jody, you've done a great job. Thank you. I know the Board of County Commissioners are just so proud of our teams and our staff and what they do every day. They're here, leaving their families, and making sure that you, the citizens of Manatee County, are safe. And once again, like everyone said, there's still a lot of flooding going on out there. Be careful, be safe. If you see a road flooded, turn around, don't drown. And with that, thank you all very much for being here today. And thank you again, Senator Scott, for everything that you do. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions, Kristen?
I do have one question. I'm Julia from Maine News 9. It's an unrelated topic. First, nice to meet you and thank you for your service to our country. My team does want to know if I can ask you what you think about Kamala Harris keeping Governor Tim Walz as her running mate.
So, well, as we all know, the most important thing right now is I want everybody to stay safe. So that's the most important thing is I hope everybody will focus on let's get through this and keep everybody safe. It doesn't really matter who she picks. I mean, the Democrats have become a progressive party. They've become the party that supports defunding the police, high inflation, massive spending, a woke military, an open border, so it really doesn't matter.
Thank you, sir.
Senator, a lot of people are asking as we cover this storm, I know the rainfall that we've received has been,
Massive.
The highest, massive. But a lot of people are asking, we're seeing water in places that we haven't seen it before, flooding on I know Manatee County and Sarasota, Fruitville Road, still down, Bee Ridge the day after. What do you attribute that to, and what is the solution?
Well, I wouldn't be able to answer a question on a specific road, but here's been my experience. I'll just give you my experience over the last 14 years as a governor now on this. First off, if you look at the history of Florida, a lot of Florida, the drainage was always the roads, right? So the expectation, like where I live in Collier County, where I live, our road was originally the drainage area. So the goal was our houses not flood. Now, if you look at what our cities and our counties have done over the last 20, 30 years, they've added more drainage opportunity, which is what's happened where I live. This was massive. This was a lot of water. On top of that, if you look right now, and if you follow what the National Hurricane Center will tell you, the National Weather Service, we're saturated. The states, we've had a lot of water this year. The whole state is really wet. So part of it's those things together. But the other thing we're going to have to watch out for is that our rivers have not crested. So if I'm going to Steenhatchee after this, and I think it was maybe twice or maybe 3 times, I'm probably going the exact same place, because what happens is as this water now flows into it, these rivers, we're going to see some flooding. Probably more further north than we are down here, which we generally do as a state. But I think if we just go through it, that's how the roads were set up. But the state's added a lot of drainage, but there's a lot of work to do. The mayor was talking about this earlier. They've been investing money. I know when I was governor, we invested money, and there's federal programs to deal with some of the storage issues, some of the drainage issues. But there's a lot of work to do. So we're a fast-growing state, and there's always a lot of work to do.
This might be a question more for the county, but the lake, a lot of residents told us that they didn't get a warning about the lake and everything that was going on in order to make sure that it didn't crest and all of that. What happened here with the lake and the plugs dissolving and stuff? Can you explain that and maybe why these residents didn't get a message?
Well, I can tell you that we have lots of ways we get communication out. We do reverse 911. We send out alerts. We have all of our social media. So I think our team did a very good job of sending that information out to everyone that we could get it out to. Again, there might be some residents that didn't see it, didn't hear it, or didn't look on any of the social media that we send out on. But our public information team does a phenomenal job of getting this information out as fast as we can. This event happened very quickly and happened very suddenly, trying to get the water out. The dam did exactly what it's supposed to do. The lake was rising to unsafe levels. The spillway automatically opens up. The plugs are there. They're designed to do that. So the lake did, with the lake levels where they're at, the dam did what it was supposed to do. But as far as getting that information out, we get it out as much as we can. We put it out there into the system. We always ask folks, we've been telling folks this whole weekend, mymanatee.org/storm, go to 311, go to any of our social media, and it will tell them exactly. We send out alerts right before the spillway automatically opened. So it's unfortunate that some folks didn't get the information, but I think our public information team does a great job of getting that information out.
Now, some of these people said that they also want the flood zones, that they didn't have flood insurance. What can they do now?
Well, if they're not in a flood zone, they don't need flood insurance unless they want to voluntarily get it. If their homes got flooded, I would suggest they reach out to their homeowner insurance agents and find out what the National Flood Insurance Program can do for them. This is a storm. This was a state of emergency. So there's the resources out there that they can reach out to through the state and federal government to get help on that.
And finally, just moving forward and taking what we've learned here, how are you going to incorporate, this storm into making sure that maybe, I don't know if there's less flooding in the future storm?
Well, I think in a storm like this was historic. I mean, we've had massive amounts of rain dumped on us at one time. Some places got up to 18 inches of rain here in Manatee County. And along with 2 high tides, that's what causes a lot of this. So the water can't get out when you have the high tides pressing back in and pushing water back up into our systems. Our stormwater management systems operate great here in Manatee County, and they do what they were designed to do. I think what we learned from this storm is that we can take the information from this and previous storms and look forward to saying, okay, here's the technology we have now today. Can we predict what's going to happen next? And get these folks ready to say, look, if we get record amounts of rainwater like we did this time, we're going to have to, the floodgates are going to open. You want to be prepared for that. So I think every storm we learn something different, and we're prepared better for every storm.
Can you take us through the timeline of when it was decided to start the releases from the dam?
Director Fisk, you want to comment on that?
Good morning. So as for the specific timelines, I would really direct you to talk to utilities and ask those specific questions. As for the timing of the alerts, there's a difference between an Everbridge message that you've registered for and you've chosen the type of alerts you want to receive, and that iPause message, which is the message that went out after the first release began. The iPause messages are designed for emergency notification, and they will hit your cell phones it's a polygon. We look at a map and say, this is the area in danger. So if you receive that message with the emergency alert, you yourself may not have been in imminent danger, but somebody in that area was, and they were getting that same alert. For Everbridge, that's very targeted. It is more characters, specific information, a little more that we can tell people. So the bottom line is that the second that we received the alerts that the water was flowing, an emergency message was sent out. And that's exactly how things are supposed to work. So the after action report, as far as the timing of everything, I would direct you to talk to the subject matter experts on that. But as for the timing of the alerts, they worked exactly as they were supposed to.
But is that your call to, say, release ahead of time? You know that if major storms coming with the potential of 20 inches of water or rainfall, is that your call then to release before you get to what somebody needs?
No. So the different departments do maintain authority over the facilities which they manage. They just notify us what's going on. And we do rely on subject matter experts. So it's important that everyone understands, when we activate for an emergency, we do have an incident commander. We have a deputy incident commander. But that does not mean that we're unilaterally just, hey, we want to do this. It is in discussion. It is in collaboration and cooperation. So there's a lot of conversations that are happening when the commissioner says we lean forward, and we're planning for potential problems that could come up or emergencies that are going to happen. And then most important, it's when something happens, if it's a rapidly expanding event, we're going to take the action necessary. So it's not necessarily just one person making the call. It is an entire group of people in this building that have been working together for days.
I guess what it comes down to is what we're hearing from residents and folks are saying, why didn't this process start sooner? Why wasn't, we knew a major storm was coming this way with the potential, let it pass. Why didn't we start releasing water earlier? And I guess what would you say to that?
So to that, I would say that the storm was interesting in the track that it took. It was interesting in the rainfall amounts. We've been briefing with the National Weather Service, and things change very quickly with some of these storms, up to and including the amount of rainfall that is expected. We actually ended up getting significantly more rain than we expected, which actually did not start happening until the evening of. So, I would just say to those residents that have the questions, please reach out to us direct. We are happy to discuss the process, how it works, and where to get the most up-to-date information. but I really would direct over to the dam operators for specific information. I don't want to speak to their information.
What is the status of the dam now? Is more water going to be released, or where are you at?
I would, again, say contact the dam operators because they really are going to have the most accurate and up-to-date information.
All right, thank you all very much. We appreciate the media being here as always, and thank you so much. And again, if there's something you need, check out mymanatee.org/storm or dial 311 as we continue during these operations damage assessment. Thank you very much. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you.